should be good still. Okay.
King of the blood of flow, gathering through these gates, my
fuck is going on? My fucking headphone? Tak terlihat. think that sounds better. I think. Hmm. Um. Uh, okay. Something's off there. Am I like missing shit? Because that doesn't sound right to me. Triplet. It's gonna be hard making the triplets. This is gonna be rough. I do know these need to be perfect. I need a. I don't think I recorded that right the first time. So. I'm actually gonna add a. I think that goes in the middle of there or something. Maybe it was right. It needs just to be consistent. Yeah, there it is. Then where's that crash at? Boom. Boom. I actually just want to copy that shit. Truth be actually told. As long as all the main points are hitting on, I don't really care how perfect it is or isn't. Boom. Oh, is that why that's... Why is that like that? I hate that. Oh, fuck me. Let's delete those. All right, now let's do it. Kind of want that to be like accented. There's the velocity of that hit. I don't want that to be. You want those velocities to be high for that. Try it again. Everything else is so fucking loud. Okay, so it is right there. I feel like I don't think that those are starting in the right place. It just sounds so fucking weird on this. Da 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 dun dun dun. Leap, bitch. Why does that sound so weird? It's not in the middle. Da 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 da. Oh, because in triplets. Oh, fuck me. I'm an idiot. Oh, no. Oh, shit. We need these two. Ah, fuck me. Triplet. Da 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 da. Alright, these need to be spread out a little bit. Da 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 da. Da. Triplet. I wish this had like triplet bars. Fuck. Triplet. Triplet, 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 triplet. So actually, I think it needs to match that. Relatively speaking. Oh, then I see. Teen chaka taka tata. Teen chaka tata. Chaka da 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 da. Teen, teen, cha da da da. That's what it is. Da 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 ching da 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 da. Whew, I saved that one. That one was gonna be a pain in my ass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Sweet, so I can just delete all of these. 1, 2. Fuck. Where's that go? Okay, we need that. Wait, what the fuck? There it is. So it's 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if how the fuck did I. Okay. Do, 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 do. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So we just need to copy. One, two, three, four. Bitch. Copy. One, two, three, four. Feel like I did something there, and I don't remember what the fuck I did. I kind of like that more. Yeah, I actually don't. And this is slightly different. Actually, I saw this. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. Triple it, triple it. Da, da, da. I want to make these. Ding. Ding. I feel like that needs to be slightly closer. Dang. Dang, Jinda. 1, 2, and then da 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 da. Dun 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 da 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 da. Dun 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 da 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 da. Dun dun da 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 da. Dun 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 dun. I don't know if that's like maybe it needs to be like a little closer. That feels better. I think there's 2 crash symbols. I think I was like trying to change that into like that same beat. There it is. There it is. What the fuck? Why is that shit not copying, right? That's so stupid. Are these like not on the fucking... I guess not. Hey, fuck me. Yeah, that chicken ding. That chicken ding. Do. Shut that chicken ding. That. Got. Well, it's actually bass drum. Jing. One, two, three. Do. Do. I feel like... Oh, actually, I think I fucked that up. Yeah, that's why that sounds weird. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see. I gotta hear this shit because it's fucking me up. I gotta fucking... I can't even... Oh, that's why I fucked that up, because... Actually, that just might be straight. Wait, that doesn't make sense because I know how to do that. Okay, so it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it needs to be 6 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to spread these out. Fuck, what's the high tom? Two, three, one, two, three, four, and that floor tom. Five, six. Oh wait, no, that's on the. Oh yeah, that's gotta be like right there. So it's actually before that. One, two, three. Actually, it's way closer together than I thought. One, two, three, four, five, six. Then I think it starts that phrase again. There it is. Alright, let's just do... Ding, da da da. The fuck's going on here? Oh, I see. Alright, let's unmute. That was super quiet. grateful bar.
I won't be ignored.
I actually really like that. Like, realistically, these should... That's 2 bars. That's 3 bars. I need 3 bars of the previous. One, two, three. Copy. God damn it. 1, 2, 3. I'll delete that. There we go. Da do do da do do. 1, 2, 3. Dun 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 dun. Kakaki. Need my metronome. That perfect range is like slightly over. Do clata dun dun. All right, let's just listen to it up to there. I don't know if I should put that there.
Nobody else in the life.
These are easy at least. What is bullshit? There it is.
Nobody else in the life.
Ding, 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 ding. What is this? It's actually pretty close. Actually, that's like almost spot on. Ding. This is a little bit rushed. Ding, 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 ding. That's because that gap is not. Triple. One, I feel like I should need to be slightly closer together. It's not horrible. So those in theory. Triple. Triple it, triple it. One, two, three, one, two, three, one, three. That has to match up. Oh boy. I think I can just copy that. I mean, in theory, that should all still work exactly the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. And you only have the first 3 of that one. Okay, so four. Control V right there. We get rid of that. Here it should work. And then it starts on that. Shit. Copy that, not fucking copy. God damn it. Actually, this is what I need right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Oh, fuck me. Oh, okay, I see. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then we need to count 2. 3, 4. Right there is where we'd start that again. Right where that kick is. 2, 3, 4. What the fuck? Why did that do that? Okay. Oh shit, you know what? I'm like 100% positive. Yeah, I didn't copy that. Copy. Those are 2 beats, and then it comes in 2 bars, then it comes in that halfway point. Copy these. not sure what's supposed to be what right there. Then we just gotta copy the other. My fucking arm hurts so bad. Freak. I don't know if you're still here, man. Sorry. I got so wrapped up in doing this, I actually forgot I was streaming. Let me see if you're online. I'm gonna DM you. You son of a bitch. Oh, you're still here. It sounds like there's a cowbell going because there kind of is. It's the metronome. Because, like, the fucked up thing about this is, like, I'm trying to program these drums in because I don't know if you read, but I tore my left bicep tendon off a few weeks ago. That was real great. And I won't be drumming for a while. And so we started recording an album, and that's kind of another reason why, like, I took like an extra class, started recording an album, and like a bunch of other things. Kind of why I haven't really been on as much. And then this happened. So basically, for now, I just need to like, it's not going to be the final product. I'm going to wait till I heal and then go finish recording everything. But for now, just to kind of get like scratch drum tracks in, I'm just laying down these program drums in. So, and it's kind of like loosely based on stuff that I'd like just demoed out before to get like a quick start. But damn, this song in particular is hard because it doesn't follow like I don't know if you know anything about like like reading music or anything like that, but this is like a 4 pattern grid, and the shit we're doing in this song is like threes and sixes, so they don't follow the grid, unfortunately. So I have to like kind of eyeball it and then have that cowbell, which is in that like 3 pattern grid, to kind of follow. You're not wrong. I just like I'm not old school about it per se because I think taking like drum samples and blending them with your like original drum sound is like the play. At least that's as far as like I like to do it. So basically, um, like you want all the dynamics and like the feeling of like a real drum set, but a real drum set recorded, at least in my opinion, I just haven't ever heard someone record a kit by itself and it just sound super thick and like full and perfect right off the bat with like even like the perfect reverb. Not like I've recorded in big rooms before, where like you get like natural reverb and stuff like that, but it doesn't really ever like just hit the mark. So I think doing that hybrid version is probably what's best in my opinion. In that you just main drum sound and then behind it you just layer on samples, um, and then you get like unique tones that way too. It's pretty cool. How have you been, man? It's been a minute. I feel like I missed. I think I like the last couple times. I feel like I missed you. Um, it's like super hard to play shit now with one hand. That's actually 100% true. A lot of people don't know that either. Luckily, like when I was a kid, I used to work at a Sam Ash Music Megastore. It's kind of like Guitar Center. I don't know if I don't know if you've like ever been to any of those, but I like got to fuck around with like tons of different like drum head combinations and like just different shells and stuff. So I've got like my natural tone pretty locked in, I'd say. Um, Down to like the sticks I use and the cymbal combinations and stuff like that. Oh, that's sick. It's actually real stick. Um, as far as guitar goes, I've got a couple acoustics. But it's funny. I went to like school for music at first. Like I busted my ass and paid for it out of pocket. So I know how to read music. Not like I passed like all my piano classes and stuff, but um, I just never learned how to like play guitar and read music for guitar. So I just used to look up a shit ton of tabs when I was younger. And then I just figured it out that way. And once you figure out like the basic chord progressions for like power chords and shit like that, it's a done deal. You can just like you can guess songs with like 4 to 5 chords, sometimes 3. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 6 or 7 if you want to get like real crazy. Does your brother still play drums? What program are you talking about? Is it like a teach you how to read music program or something, or are you talking like GarageBand or something? Because that was like when I was a kid, that was like all the rage. Oh, he doesn't regularly. Yeah, man, drums are. Oh, okay, Guitarsmith. Um, Drums are loud, man. They're like a really hard instrument to just play. Um, it's funny. I like actually And like drum companies, they make things so expensive when they don't necessarily have to either. So it kind of bums me out because like I know like uh, I'm very fortunate now because I really stuck with it, and after a really long time and being really lucky, like my electronic kit behind me, the one that I just like did scratch tracks with on everything, um uh I got that for like $200, and like when I used to work at Sam Ash, those things used to sell for like $1,500. So like I got it used, it worked, and that's really all that mattered to me. Um, but like before that, before they even sold like silent cymbals, which I found like a set of silent cymbals, like a ton of them, for like $100. You got like the hi hat, the two crashes, and the ride. And normally, like Zildjian or Sabian will sell them for like fucking. It's almost like buying like real cymbals at that point, even though the whole point is that they're not real cymbals. But they sell them like Zildjian or Sabian. They'll sell them for like $300-400, and like I got a whole brand new like everything for like 100. And also too, that $300 or $400 that won't. That's only one crash. That's not like two crashes. Um, but yeah, I would find like old cheap, like really cheap like electronic drum sets, and just like for practice pads and shit, I would like I would just find those and be like, yo, let me buy that off you. That would have like a practice pad kit, and just put my pedals on that, and like something quieter. But like I always feel bad for kids, you know what I mean, who grow up who want to learn to play drums and stuff like that. But it's just like such a loud instrument, and it's an expensive one too. So it's like they just can't manage it. Like even if they could afford it, they just have nowhere to put it, nowhere to play it. Like I used to live in an apartment and stuff too, so like there's no way in fuck I was able to play like a real drum set back then. I guess guitar too. Actually, now that I think about it, I mean, if it's like an electric guitar, you have a little bit more control though, I suppose. Acoustic guitars get pretty fucking loud. Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. By the way, that Rocksmith or Guitarsmith. I know of it. I've never used it before, but I know what you're talking about. But that's sick. If you want to ever bring your brother into Discord, have him talk drums, let me know. That's my shtick. There's like only one thing I'm actually good at in life, and that's drums. I'm kind of like, I'll be real, my brain is getting fried right now. Kind of don't want to do this anymore. Freak, you wanna? I've got some Final Fantasy 11 videos I've been wanting to watch. You want to watch them with me, mate? Dude, jazz is actually fun as fuck. Unironically. Unironically, jazz is really fun to play as a drummer. All right, I'm going to save this file. Am I on Discord? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. All right, Freak, give me 1 second. I'm going to put the stream in like BRB mode right quick. And I don't know. You listen to metal, right? Like you listen to like metal. Not like this shit's more like hardcore. And not like screamo hardcore per se, but like actual hardcore. The cool thing is like there's guys like Matt Garska from like what the fuck is he from? I think he's was it Animals as Leaders or like Between the Buried and Me? Either way, both of those drummers are like really fucking good. Like really good. He has got guys like Vinny Colaiuta who played on like Megadeth's album. It was deathcore that you were showing me in the Discord. That's what I was thinking of. What kind of metalcore do you like though? I used to actually, it's funny enough, I actually did used to listen to like metalcore and shit back in the day because when we used to play like hardcore shows, like a lot of metalcore bands and hardcore bands played together. That was just like a really common thing, especially when there was like when there was like a bunch of like beat down hardcore bands. Like I don't know, all three just kind of like played shows together. That was like back to like, oh my god, holy crap, I forgot. That was back in the day when they had like the what is it, like the Christian metalcore bands? They had like a ton of those. Like that was like almost like a fad. It was really weird that like that was like a thing to do. Oh, I like Parkway Drive. Trivium's good too. As I laid out, yeah, I like that stuff. I like all that stuff. Actually, Parkway Drive, I feel like was like yeah, they were really big, but like nobody really talks about them that much, and I feel like they were underrated. Um, I'll still be here, but I'm gonna switch the screen so I can change my shit. I have some work stuff in the background. I just want to make sure I don't fucking. Just want to make sure I don't fucking put my work shit out there. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. Dude, I gotta like upgrade the memory on my shit or something. Cause like I always leave my laptop on for a few days at a time, and the fucking like I have a million tabs open all the time too because of work, and when I like stream, my memory goes up to like 75%, 80%. During this, it was like 85% because I was like editing the audio and shit. I'm just gonna actually shut that off. It should be fine for now. And okay. Oh shit. Actually, let's do this. Freak. I don't know if I'm in. Oh yeah, I'm not even in any of my fucking channels. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go into my channel if you want to hop in there. Be there, and I'm also gonna post in the general tab. I'll post the links and you can watch them. This is gonna be the first video. I haven't seen any of these videos yet, so I should just kind of. I was just gonna like watch them while I was like passing out, but or just watch them on stream just to like fucking pass the time. Let me know when you're good, and then. Oh, here we are. There he is.
What's up?
How you been, man?
Not much. Just playing Tarkov.
Yeah, what is it? I know you haven't been playing Final Fantasy 11 because when you do play Final Fantasy 11, it actually shows it in Discord. But
Shouldn't show any game I'm playing in Discord.
it's definitely done that before. I know you've changed it to your mom, but like, which is like whatever. It's just like the thing, but I know for a fact. Bitch. I'm at home. Since I'm one armed right now, I started playing PokeMMO because it's just the pain was like pretty brutal. I'm not even gonna lie, actually, dude, that shit was pretty brutal. Like the first few nights, like I tore my pec off before, like actually lifting weights and shit, and that wasn't even half as bad as this one. Like I had to get my mind off it, so I just played something that I could do with like all keybinds on my right hand. I posted that link in the chat, by the way, so let me know when you get it, and we'll do like a 3, 2, 1, and fucking just watch it.
You can stream to Discord and like watch it at the same time you watch it.
You know, it's not a bad idea. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard in the world. Yeah, give me 1 second. Or actually, here, let me fix that, because that's at 720p. I'm gonna make that 1080. That doesn't look like shit. There we go. All right. Don't forget to like mute the, if you're still on the stream chat, make sure you mute that shit, because otherwise it's gonna fuck up your audio.
So
No way, it's not. I'm just kidding.
From Final Fantasy X-2 straight to Final Fantasy XII. If you're unfamiliar with the franchise's history, then you should know that Final Fantasy XI is not really a traditional game in the series. The full title is actually Final Fantasy XI Online. It's an MMO, a game where you interact and team up with hundreds of real-life players as you try to conquer all of the deadly creatures in the world of Vana'diel. So one of these
Can I say
things
something real
was
quick?
not like.
I just noticed
However,
something. Oh, fuck.
I'm not, and have been since the arriving in 2000. For all of the deadly
There we go. Can I say something real quick? I don't know if you noticed this, but like, I don't understand why. But like, even in like modern YouTube videos where people capture Final Fantasy XI footage, why the fuck does it look so bad all the time? Like this is, I think this is, I don't even know how old this one is. This is like 2019. This is probably like one of the few videos I've seen where they like capture Final Fantasy XI footage and it doesn't look like complete fucking ass.
creatures in the world of Vana'diel. So one of these things was not like the others. This game originally released in 2002 for Japan, then it came over to North America in 2003, with the PlayStation 2 version arriving in 2004. And let me tell ya, I don't have any fond memories with this game.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Mainly because I have never actually played it.
Oh, okay.
I know,
That's fair.
right? I'm such a huge Final Fantasy fanboy and have been since the 90s, and I never got around
about
to
triggered
playing
me.
their first
I was
MMO.
ready to go.
See, when this game came out, I was 15 years old. I was right in the thick of high school, finishing up grade 10, barely making money through babysitting and stuff, and it wasn't really an option for me. I live out in the boondocks. I was surrounded by a forest, I lived in a small town, and I didn't exactly have the greatest computer or internet connection to handle that game. I was on dial-up. Do you know what dial-up is? Every time I wanted to log on
What
to
the
the
fucking
internet,
kind of
I had
excuse
to...
is that?
was
Majority
thinking
of the
the same
PlayStation,
thing.
majority of PlayStation and PC users had dial-up at the same time.
Dog, that's such bullshit. I think I was still running
I think-
AOL free internet when I fucking ran. The fucking, remember the disc they used to have at like Walmart and shit? Like, I'm pretty positive I had free internet when I fucking played this game.
Yeah, I think DSL was barely just coming out to like public view when this game came out. Like majority of people were using 256K.
Yeah, in fact, wasn't that the whole reason why that was like, there was like the whole reason why they a lot of the packets, like part of the reason why the download took so fucking long is because tons of the shit was running on ARM machines, because that way they wouldn't have to like transfer data over in like such large loads. And even then, like the loads were still like pretty heavy for back then. But
Yeah,
still,
from back
like,
then, but it was meant to run on 56K.
yeah, that's what I was saying though. Like even then, like most of those packets were like on client side.
And even then, back then, like the only I never seen anyone. Well, I knew there was a few people that I knew that played on PS2 back when Treasures was out.
That was probably
But-
pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie,
But even on the Xbox 360, which looked like more like, because even my brother, like when he would watch me play, like he's like, this looks just as good, if not slightly better than like standard PC graphics, 360
Yeah.
to PC, and I would crash every time there was a Besieged,
oh,
which I don't even know if you remember Besieged because I don't think you even played.
I do remember Besiege. I just didn't play much. Like I did play Treasures of Water Gone, but like I don't think I ever like finished it back in the day.
Every time there was Besieged, guaranteed to freeze your Xbox at least once, guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, what was it, like the biggest server load that like always fucked everyone too is like it didn't really matter how good your system was. I'm pretty positive because like, which actually no, hold on a second. That's kind of weird to me now that I think about it because I had a friend who played on PS2 and I remember I don't remember how I did it, but I saved a shit ton of money like and got a graphics card for my PC. And I remember my friend like playing on PS2 and he would like play in the dunes and like he would be fine, but I remember like when I played on PC, like sometimes, like even I would get like fucking booted off and shit, like a lot. And I was like, how the fuck is this guy doing this shit? Like, how is his PS2 fucking beating my fucking like $200 at the time graphics card? And that was like talking like 2004.
I was probably more your connection, not the game itself, like the data transfer.
Yeah.
No, probably more your connection.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we had like the same internet. Like we lived in the same neighborhood and stuff. But I was just like, this son of a bitch. Like I actually like did all my shit, upgraded my system and stuff. But
yeah, shit. I bought a $300 e-machine or some shit like that with onboard graphics and never got disconnected and besieged again.
That's actually pretty sweet, dude. What was it? Those e-machines were like the shit.
Black Friday, Best Buy, get one for like $50.
Oh, dude, I got something I gotta show you after. Well, I'll show you after this. But like, a while ago, I posted them. There's like some Final Fantasy like 11 Facebook groups and stuff like that, and I posted them in there, and I think on Reddit too. And they had like Final Fantasy 11. They had sweepstakes where they actually had Final Fantasy 11 PCs. Those bitches were.
Yeah, I seen those. It was who the fuck? One of the YouTubers were talking about it.
Dude, that shit was. They had two of them. They had an Alienware machine, and that was back in the day when Dude, if you had an Alienware PC, god damn, you were fucking balling. But
before Dell bought them.
Yeah, and it looked like a fucking alien spaceship, or like I thought it would look. But all right, I'm gonna continue the video.
Endure this awful screeching noise.
Here it is, the dial-up.
And with this connection, I could barely go through a GameFAQs message board, let alone run an online game. Dial-up used the phone line, so anytime I wanted to use the internet, I'd actually have to ask my family if it was okay in case they were expecting a phone call or wanted to call someone themselves.
That shit used to
I
trigger
couldn't
the
be
fuck
on
out
the
of me.
internet for long periods of time. It just wasn't an option. So anytime friends were like, hey, you should play RuneScape, I was like, sorry man, dial-up, can't do it. Also, the PS2 required a bigger hard drive for FF11's installation, and I just didn't have that. So for the entire 6th gen, I was just not much of an online gamer.
You know what the funny thing is about that too? It was actually, I think it was actually cheaper if you already had a PC. This is how I did it because I just didn't want to, like I only had so much money to spend. It was actually cheaper for me to get Final Fantasy 11 and just put it on my PC than it was to buy all the extra shit for my PlayStation 2.
Which was fine. The GameCube was like 99% offline, and almost every PS2 game I wanted to play either had local multiplayer or was a dedicated...
I remember like being a little kid and like doing the fucking math on it, like hardcore. Like, all right, how many fucking lawns do I have to mow this summer?
Yeah, I didn't start playing until 360 release, which was what, 2007?
7? Yeah, 7.
single-player experience. When 2007 hit, I finally had an updated internet connection.
Oh, here we
now
go.
I could be on as long as I wanted. And I was playing on the Xbox 360,
There he is.
which Final Fantasy 11 was actually on. And I still didn't play it.
Bitch.
I don't know. I guess I just forgot about it or was too focused on other upcoming games
Why
and
is
my
he making a
real-life
video
job.
if
I
half
just
the
wasn't
fucking
really in
video
any
is just
mood
like, I
to
never
play
played the
an MMO. I still played 12 and 13 and 13.2 and everything, but I ignored Final Fantasy 11. And by the time I finally decided to do this retrospective, the servers went down for all of the console versions. Even if I wanted to play this on those older systems, there is no way for me to actually access the content. So, my only other option is to play this game on PC, where the servers are still alive and kicking. However, I'm not much of a PC gamer. My recording technology is not exactly
I'm
ideal
giving
for
this one a
capturing
fat
footage right now.
downvote.
If I'm not dropping tons of frames,
the
the
end.
file size is usually
Like, you
so
can
high
play
that it
it
completely
with the
eats up
controller on
all of my
PC, dumbass.
I just don't understand the point of the video right now. It's just like he somehow, and I'll give him props for this. We're 3 minutes and 38 seconds in. He made a Final Fantasy 11 video where he doesn't really all he does. He said like 5 times that he never played it, and then he talked about internet dial-up connections. Like touche, but what the fuck are we doing here?
memory. I don't record games on PC that often, so I would need to do research and invest just to do this comfortably, and
You're a fucking YouTuber. How I don't play games on PC. Get with the program.
you know, I think I'm good missing out on this one. I kind of
Alright, he's
just want to
getting
move
downvote.
on
I'm
to the
triggered.
single-player story-driven games. So hey, I'm not doing a video on Final Fantasy XI. I have no history with it.
I'm not doing a video. What is this? Please tell me someone in the comments. Please tell me someone has. Just someone tell, like, just call out
Well,
this.
I get annoyed on Facebook. Well, I don't have access to my Facebook right now, but I get annoyed on Facebook because every time Square Enix makes a post about like Final Fantasy 11 getting an update or something like that, you got like 10 or at least 10 that comments at least within that 30 comments that you get to see without hitting expand more.
Yeah.
Probably got like 5 to 10 comments. Bring back it for PS4 or put it on PS5 and
Yeah.
I'd play again. It's like,
Those are
dude,
people who just never fucking looked up any of that shit at all.
it's like, dude, you can buy a fucking Google Chrome laptop that's cheaper than your PS5
That's actually
and
true.
play 11 no problem.
Unironically, if there was a way to like, well, there.
Hell, if you really want to, you can get the fucking Steam Deck and play Final Fantasy 11.
Well, I was just gonna say, technically speaking, if you want to go big brain with it, right? Kind of, sort of, you can get like a controller, right, for your phone, and then they have like software, like if you have an Android, anyways, you can like emulate your PC OS on your phone. And then you
Yeah,
could, in theory, do it that way. But
people have been doing that for a while. It's not very stable. Last time I read up on it.
yeah, I mean, well, the thing is like you can run PS2 games now pretty well for the most part on your phone if you want to. Like I fuck around with it still, like just different emulators and stuff on mobile. And I'm using like my phone. The model is like 5 years old at this point. Anyways, fuck this guy. He like literally just hasn't said anything the whole time. So on to the next one.
I use a capture card and record footage and use probably like OBS or something to record that footage, but I don't know how to use that on a PC to record gameplay on a PC game.
I just don't understand. He's like, well, I'm not gonna play the whole point of the game. The whole point of the motherfucking, or the whole point of the game. The whole point
It's
of the video.
funny
Yeah.
is I get yelled at all the time by people, and I'm like, dude, if you were to, if you're, I don't care that you're a 14 fanboy. If you were to actually play 11 and play the whole story and read everything in the fucking story, even though you got some of the devs and stuff for 14 that said they didn't take anything from 11, it's the same, almost the same fucking stories
They didn't take
repeated
any,
over.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, what do they mean they didn't take anything from 11?
Like story wise, they didn't take anything.
I mean,
You had people who swear up and down the devs said they didn't take anything story wise from 11.
I would believe that in 1.0, like even like the 1.19 to 1.23b, but
ARR really, I mean, Heaven's Ward reminds me of. It's not even Heaven's Ward. It's like even Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward
you know,
are kind of all like original, and then once we start getting to like Stormblood and Shadowbringer and stuff, like Shadowbringer really reminded me a lot of Wings of the Goddess, the whole Wings of the Goddess story.
yeah. Well, also, it's funny too. Like I said, that's kind of where I was going back to, even, because I mean, obviously the 11 influence was really heavy in 1.0. Even I would say probably with the way that like the style in which like they told the story, where it was all like kind of like random like adventuring events.
See,
Like
I
you actually
never, I
felt like
never
an
got to
adventure.
play. I never got to play 1.0
Dude,
because I didn't have
let me tell
a
you right now.
computer.
Neither did I, but like, ooh, I don't want to open up this can of worms right now at 2 in the fucking morning. But like, let me tell you something right now. I did some digging on stuff, and it led me down a major rabbit hole where I found out what everyone says about Final Fantasy 14 1.0. Like most people are actually just completely retarded. They actually don't know what they're talking about.
My brother loved 1.0.
Dude, oh okay, well here's some support for his for what he says, because here's the deal.
He
Most
said
people,
he started hating it when they started doing all the changes to make it more like Final Fantasy 11. Is when he started hating it.
oh really? Well, that's
Yeah,
that's that's actually completely opposite of all the research I've read, and then people who I know who've like actually, because I know I've met people who started playing Final Fantasy 14 1.0 like when it first came out and in the beta, and most of those people quit like very shortly after, and they didn't come back to like a Realm Reborn or after. And most of those people are the ones you hear online who will say, I played Final Fantasy 14 1.0 and it was horrible. Nothing about it was good. And like they're like hard line, nothing was ever good. But the thing is they didn't stick around. Most people liked, and I don't know what your brother stands because I don't really know the exact differences between 1.19 and 1.23b. I think 1.23b was, I think 1.23b might have been more of the Final Fantasy 11 ish style of gameplay. I think 1.19 was a little bit more unique. So there's a divide on that, but
well, he quit for a while because he would do end game, and pretty much end game at the time. I think for them there was no raids. It was like 3 world bosses or some shit like that. So pretty much 3 H&Ms
oh, okay, yeah.
was
So
pretty
then,
much the end game at the time. So
oh, so then that was
once they
pre 1.19.
once they farmed all that shit all the way up to like him and a bunch of his buddies quit, and then he came back because there was a for a little bit, and I think he played till they announced that they were shutting down the servers. I don't think he played for the final couple patches or whatever, but they had the mob tagging thing where you can pretty much just. I mean, you could still fucking do it in 14, where you can
Yeah,
just get fucking power leveled up, like especially on the blue mage, you can just get powered up, like back then 1 to 50 in like an hour and a half or some shit like that. When normally it took a couple weeks playing 3-4 hours a day.
yeah. I think 1.23b is the version that most people like would call like the definitive version. In which case, I think they found like a happy medium with like leveling and stuff like that, and then gameplay, and then they added a ton of, like, it's crazy, man. Like you look at the content that they had, and it like not only does it all look better than 14 now, but like it actually kind of plays better. Like if
Yeah,
you,
last thing I remember him really talking about was the Moogle fight.
yeah, that was like a big deal. That was like a hard one. Um, but like my point in all this is like there's a narrative that's like shifted right now, especially with that No Clip documentary, and it's a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about, and based off of too what Yoshi P has said in the Final Fantasy 11 20th anniversary interview, like it's actually fucked because Tanaka, like people shit on him, and he's like, I feel like his reputation is like ruined right now. Even though he not only is he like an insanely like well endowed like veteran in like the gaming industry, but like he pretty much completely took the fall for Square Enix at the time. I've like talked to plenty of other people now who were like there during that time. And one buddy of mine who I actually have played, who used to run Final Fantasy 11 private servers on a bunch of them back in like 2000, like I want to say it was like 11 is when I first met him. Um, he he used to tell me, like, he used to be like super pessimistic about shit. And I was like, I don't get it, man. What the fuck's your problem about this? And he like, now I had actually like went back and apologized to him. I was like, dude, I actually completely understand what you're talking about now, because like you can see a clear trajectory of like how the company changed and like how Yoshi P like influenced everything. And that was after Tanaka and like some of like the other heads who were like, I think probably vital in Square Enix at the time and like making like the really good games.
Yeah.
How
The,
they
the
like
biggest thing with 14, like you even said in the No Clip documentary, like it wasn't even really Tanaka's fault. It was kind of a lack of communication between
nope. It was
everyone.
it was
They all did their own thing and made the best thing possible for what they were supposed to design. And then when they tried matching it together, it did not fit together.
but the reason being is because it was pushed out way before it was ready.
And
That's
Tanaka
like
had nothing to do with that. That was
yeah, no. I mean, but Tanaka's face was on it, right? But it was because you know, they were used to MMOs at that time
well. I mean,
taking
look at who was it? That was an EA. Just did that with fucking what's that game developer? Uh
um there's been a few examples.
they did the game developer who made Dead Space, I think it was, and then they made that other game, and EA pretty much
You talking
forced
about
them to release it.
I don't know who made it, but I know Cyberpunk was a really grave example of like what happens when a game isn't ready and you just push it out, even though it takes like way more development time. But like that's literally what happened with 14 1.0. And
Visceral Games.
what was it?
Visceral Games.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones who made Dead Space, and then what the fuck? There was another game that they just made not too long ago, or were going to make, and they released a beta or something, or they released part of the game, and it literally just as soon as the beta hit, they just fucking the game went to shit. Let me see if I can find the game.
Yeah. Well, like my point is with this stuff because I think it's really important. Honest to God, I'm like so close to making a YouTube video on it because I'm kind of like passionate about it now. Because like, I don't really give a fuck how much hate I get. I'm gonna post it everywhere too if I do it. Um, I'm probably gonna get a shit ton of hate for it, but fuck them because I'm actually kind of triggered about it. The thing is like Square Enix really fucking pushed that, and the thing is also, I don't know if Yoshi P was just told to shut the fuck up and maybe it was just better for his career if he shut the fuck up, so he kind of did. But like it's kind of bullshit because like you'll even hear like interviews like Yoshi P just did an interview recently where he's like where he says shit like you know, it's really like the leadership at Square Enix, like the heads of like corporate who need to like start thinking about these things differently and not just focusing on like their bottom dollar. Otherwise, it could like put Square Enix in like a vulnerable position in the future. Like he's saying things like this, but then at the same time, he's also like in that fucking Final Fantasy 11 20th anniversary thing. You know, this entire time he would sit there and he would say, "Oh yeah, EverQuest was like an inspiration of mine," and then like in the fucking interview, he's like, "Yeah, I played it for like a week, and then quit." And then like Final Fantasy 11, yeah, I just never touched it. I just didn't appeal to me. And then he's like sitting there talking about like they always like shift into like how he got like 14 and the mindset behind it. He's like, yeah, he's like when I came to Square Enix at first, because here's another thing, Tanaka bailed him out. Tanaka bailed Yoshi P out of his first failed like MMO, which he gave him like at the time I think it was like 2001 or something. He gave Yoshi P like Square Enix's like baby, which was their garbage collection algorithm for like memory, and he just gave it to him. Like that was shit you just didn't do. It's like Tanaka like gave Yoshi P like a major helping hand, and then even I think helped get him into Square Enix eventually after that one project failed. Like gave him a job and everything, and gave him like a high position job at that. Like it's just crazy. Like Tanaka fucking hooked that man up, and it's like you've never once heard Yoshi P like defend him in the least little bit. Like in that interview, like he just goes on. He's like, yeah, he's like, I played like Diablo and stuff, and I was like, you guys have never heard of hack and slash, and like, I don't know. It's just like he's like so anti like everything that made like the JRP, especially like the MMO ones, like unique and good. And then he just, I don't know, it just leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. The way that they fed that No Clip documentary and like shaped it, because you know damn well that No Clip, you know, Square Enix is not going to put out a piece of media that is going
Oh,
to
of
like,
course, no one is.
yeah, they're not going to put out a piece of media that's going to put them in a bad light. So of course, everything like went on Tanaka, and like in some of like the head people in his team, and they were just like, yeah, they're just incompetent and like all this blah 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 bullshit. And it's like Tanaka, like apparently, like I don't know where it's at now. I'd have to go and find all the shit again, but like Tanaka like had concerns that like, hey, this wasn't ready, and then like the heads at Square Enix still pushed it out. They're like, here's your deadline, get it out by then. And so it's like, yeah, of course he's gonna do whatever he can. He's gonna cut corners and he's gonna try to hope too, because that's how Final Fantasy XI first launched in Japan. It wasn't, people forget this, but 11 had like a pretty shaky launch too. But back then, it just, word didn't spread as fast. I don't know, man. It puts like a bad taste in my mouth, because it's like ever since that 1.0 disaster, and then the way the narrative is shifted now, because now you have guys like Asmongold and all these people who, to be fair, really at no fault of their own, they just regurgitate stuff and they've got a massive audience, but they don't actually know the real true story. And everybody like regurgitates it now, so it's just like that narrative spreads like wildfire, and it's like everything in the MMO space now and you and me have talked about this. It feels like everything is just an ultra casual fucking garbage fest. Like it's like ultra casual. Nobody wants to like think anymore. It's really weird. Blows my mind. I don't know. I'm hoping Final Fantasy 14, they're gonna do this Criterion Dungeon thing. It's the only reason I started playing it again, because it looks like the first piece of like actually kind of cool content that they're taking back from 1.0. But we'll see. I'm gonna reply to Shogun real quick. Also, too, Freak, if you're ever interested, there is there's a Discord group that called Project Meteor. They're working on a private server. They're still building it, but they've been working on a private server for 1.23b of Final Fantasy 14. It's pretty cool to check out some of the stuff they have in there. I can always send it to you later if you want.
Not really interested in 14 1.0.
Heard that. I don't know, man. I just like, because it bums me out. Like, it was like after all of that, like that's where Final Fantasy 11 really started taking a dive too. So I don't know. Wish it would have. I just wish we would have gotten our Final Fantasy 11 too. God damn it. I will say another thing that's actually pretty sweet is I've been seeing more like mainstream YouTubers, like Lazy Peon just did it, who are actually featuring Final Fantasy 11 stuff in their videos now. Like when they're it used to be that no one ever referenced Final Fantasy 11 in like when they would do like top 10 best classic MMOs. They would have like all these fucking random games that no one heard about, which I remember kind of seeing back in the day on like the MMO, what was it, like MMO World or some shit like that. There was like 2 different MMO directory sites. But yeah, I was like, no one ever gave Final Fantasy 11 credit for anything. And like even Lazy Peon in his latest video, or one of his latest videos, he was like referencing Final Fantasy 11. I was like, it's pretty sweet. I don't know if he's ever played it before, but he was referencing it.
Yeah, not a lot of people.
Okay. I'm gonna... You playing a racing game?
No.
That sounded like you were playing a racing game. Let's see. Oh, here's one right here. There's like a retrospective video. I wanted to watch this too. I might as well put it on. Let's see if it's good at all.
Final Fantasy XI is dead. If you look up Final Fantasy XI, you will almost never see it on anyone's top 10 list of best Final Fantasy games, unless you're Screen Rant and rank it the 4th best of all time, which is amazing. But most people think of Cloud, and not 11 when you bring up Final Fantasy. For years, people saw that Final Fantasy XI was a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, and automatically assumed it didn't belong as a main series title. There were tons of arguments about this, and people saying it should have just been called Final Fantasy Online. And maybe it should have been. Spoiler alert, that was the subtitle. Usually you'll see people talking about how they played most of the main series titles. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and they just skip over Final Fantasy XI entirely. Like it was the 13th floor on an elevator or something. Or maybe it's more like that dude photobombing your favorite picture. You see him, you know he's there, he's one of the guys. He just doesn't really fit in. And if something doesn't fit in, people just have a hard time understanding it. After its 10-year anniversary in 2012, Square Enix president Yoichi Wada announced that Final Fantasy XI was the most profitable Final Fantasy.
Is Yoichi Wada? He's not with Square Enix anymore, is he? Do you know that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think that was a big change too. Is when he left. I think that also was like kind of around the same time. I want to say, like a lot of those problems kind of started coming up. Anyways, back to the
fantasy game the studio had ever made. And sure, we've had some good ones since then. Final Fantasy XIV is obviously doing well. People were pretty hyped about going on a little road trip.
So if this was in 2020, remember? It wasn't until Asmongold started playing 14 that 14 finally beat Final Fantasy 11. And that was like 2021, I think. That's actually hilarious.
And making the perfect recipe in Final Fantasy 15, but this game that most people pretend never even existed was somehow the most profitable in Square Enix's history up to that point? How could that be? Well, I mean, the answer is simple. They charged for expansions and had a subscription fee, but aside from that, who was buying these things if most people pretend like this game doesn't even count? What if I told you that this game was so popular that it had its own fan festivals for almost as long as the game has existed, and they were a pretty big deal? People would attend these in cosplay outfits and anxiously await news about their beloved game, hanging onto the edge of their seats for days on end to learn the recipe.
Wait, can you see my screen or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. It looked weird in Discord for a second.
For an item you could use to spawn an enemy that dropped a necklace that occasionally, under certain circumstances, would recover some magic points if you had it equipped, and people literally lost their minds over this news. This game brought so many people together. Hundreds of marriages resulted from two people meeting in the game and falling in love, and even more lifelong friendships were formed while playing this game. What if I told you that this game is actually still
actually lost his girlfriend because of its game?
Content pretty regularly.
You say you lost a girlfriend because of this game?
No, my cousin did.
Oh.
He and it's not because he played it, it's because she was playing it. She actually met someone and left him for that guy.
Oh no. Damn, dude, that's fucking wild. Can't trust anyone these days. That's fucking wild. I mean, wait, did your cousin play Final Fantasy 11 too?
Yeah, he still does once in a while.
Damn, dude. I would have kicked her out of like the guild and fucking I'd have made everybody hate her. That was back when in the community they were talking too.
Thousands of people.
Some of the community did hate her. That was when QCDN was still around, and there was a bunch of flame posts about her and the dude.
No way. That's wild.
like leveling their when they were because they were like dual leveling their Beastmaster or some shit. So they were like camping over people and shit.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. I forgot about because it's funny. I never was on that back in the day. I kind of wish I was because I feel like I missed out on.
Well, QCD, I don't know. I'm pretty sure each server had their own little flame board or whatever, but QCDN was for Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about because I want to say, was that one? There was like 3 of them that were like pretty big though. I don't know if that one.
Well, you had QCDN, Blue Gator, and then I can't remember the other forum. That was like the biggest forums.
Yeah. Okay. So I was right. There's like 3. I was gonna say I knew there's like 3 of them.
There was probably like a half a dozen, but I know Blue Gator
like 3
and
big
QCDN.
ones.
Yeah, I don't know the other ones. I know, like I said, the biggest
one
ones
was
I
pretty
know.
big. I remember that.
Wasn't the Asura one from Blue Gator, anyways?
Was that the Blue Gator? I don't remember. Honest, like I
I
said,
think Blue Gator was on Asura.
I never did them, which sucks because I feel like I feel like I missed out on a golden era of that shit. But
yeah, if I remember, I think Blue Gator was they're either on Asura or Bahamut. I don't remember which server that Link Shell was on.
That was always the one thing that kind of bummed me out, like, because I thought Play Online was like a good in practice kind of like. It was like a good in practice kind of thing.
Well, see, Square Enix's original vision for Play Online, if I remember correctly, is it was supposed to be like how Steam is.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, all their future games and stuff, you were supposed to be able to download from Play Online.
Yeah, but they had, like, it was just like the dot hack games. Like, they had, like, the boards. They had, like, the private messages. Like, you could go in and out. Like, it was actually fucking sick.
Did you ever go into the chat rooms at, like, 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That shit was a Wild West place. That was, like, some...
Slutty Mithra looking for...
What was the fucking thing where they would, like... You'd go in game and they would fucking, like, you'd be at the dunes, right? And you'd slash sit, and then you'd have, like, some random fucking Mithra come, like, in between you and, like, fucking sit. Or, like, like, just sit, like, right on your head. I was like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. I'm, like, 10 years old. I will do that. Just kidding. All right. Damn, I missed out on a good time back then with that. Good call. I forgot about that.
Still log in every day. Still pay those subscription fees even though prettier and flashier games have come along in the 18 years since its release. Heck, Square Enix even had a half-hearted attempt at steering the population to switch over to Final Fantasy XIV by tying things up in a final expansion called Rhapsodies of Vana'diel,
doesn't get its shit together.
directly tying it to a character in 14. They even gave you a final credit sequence and closure to all your adventures in Final Fantasy XI when you beat that final boss.
Alright, because obviously I haven't beat that shit yet. Does it actually, like, tie into Final Fantasy XIV?
No.
Okay, good. I was going to actually be triggered. I was going to be so triggered. Holy shit.
And not that many people took the bait. Those same people are still logging into Final Fantasy XI, day after day. This game has such a following that people have taken it upon themselves to make mods to update the graphics, created wiki guides and walkthroughs for almost every piece of content. Some folks are so nostalgic for how this game used to be, they've made their own private servers to host for people, for free. Do you guys realize the cost and upkeep to maintain a server by yourself and maybe a small team helping you out? And for what? A game that doesn't even exist for most people. Final Fantasy XI is dead. The core experience of what it was is gone. That's all true. But what it has become is arguably better than it ever has been.
Alright, this is what you were telling me.
You might have seen this game on Steam and went, "What the heck is this game? Look at those graphics. What is this, a PlayStation 2 port?" Oh wait, it is a PlayStation 2 port? That's right, folks. This game was released for the PlayStation 2 in Japan on May 16th, 2002. And it wasn't just the game. You actually had to buy this big ass hard drive unit that you had to like force into the back of your PlayStation 2 just to install the game. Back then, systems didn't come with hard drives or go online. So this was absolute madness. And
that
I
little
know
AOL fucking
someone is gonna
front
correct
screen.
me and tell me that, well, with the Sega Dreamcast, you could go online. And that's like bringing up the Sega Channel or something. You get the point I'm making here. How many
That's wild. I never knew the Sega Genesis could go online. Did you know that?
Yeah, they had like 2 games or some shit like that.
Wait,
It was
really?
mostly, I think, yeah, I think it was mostly, wasn't even like games. It was like fucking, like old style, like Flash arcade games.
And that's like bringing up the Sega
Wild. Look at this. Now playing Test Drives the Arcade Puzzler Family Room. Was there like a chat on the Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
State. That's wild. Dude, I had a Sega Genesis back in the day. I got one for free like when I was a kid, and like I would have never thought that thing could go online. That's fucking crazy.
Channel or something. You get the point I'm making here. How many people would pick up a new Call of Duty today if they had to pay extra, like $100 extra, and install a brand new hard drive into the back of the thing just so you could play one game and be able to go online? I don't know.
I
but
mean,
it feels like it would be
the new Call of
significantly
Duties are
less.
pretty much like that anyway.
Back on topic.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, dog, like, dude,
I think
they
last time, before I uninstalled fucking Modern Warfare and Warzone, I think the last update I did made the total file size, it was like 240 something gigs.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. At this point, you have to like, especially with like all the updates and all the fucking, like you end up having to buy like SSDs or hard drives, like external ones and shit, or just depending on your system if you can add one. But like, yeah, that shit's wild. And another thing too is like they're talking about the cost. Like you pay $100 extra. Well, it's like, well, what about all the fucking battle passes and shit like that? And like, you end up paying that $100 one way or another. And on top of that, you do. You know what? I'm gonna go even further with that too, because you're actually, it's not only do you have to pay for your own internet, but you also have to pay for like the Xbox internet pass or like the PlayStation internet pass. So regardless, you're still paying the monthly fee, no matter how the fuck you squeeze it.
Final Fantasy XI was ported to PC in America the following October, and to North American PlayStation 2 owners were able to pick it up March 23rd, 2004. For those of you with a knack for obscure trivia, yes, Final Fantasy XI was launched before Blizzard's darling World of Warcraft.
Oh.
WoW wasn't released until November 23rd of 2004. People have long since forgotten this now, but these two games were actually major competitors for one another for a number of years. Some people would leave Final Fantasy XI to go play WoW. Some people would leave WoW to come back to 11. Some people would go try WoW and then come back to 11 later. Some would leave altogether. It was like a whole thing.
That was like actually really
The only people that I knew that left 11 to go play like WoW were the ones who wanted PvP.
Yeah, that was a big. Actually, unironically, I remember playing Final Fantasy XI and people talking about going over to WoW to play PvP because they hated the fact that 11 didn't have it, or at least they didn't have like they didn't have it 24/7. They had PvP whenever you did like the team matches like once a year for the best in server, whatever the fuck, bragging rights. It was cool, but I don't even think you could watch them back then. So like, you could say you won it, but no one really knew unless you were on the forums. But yeah, no, that was a big thing. I do want to say though, those animations he did on there, that was kind of cool. I don't know. I guess he like maybe jumped.
Oh, and then you can always tell when someone came from WoW over to Final Fantasy because instead, Final Fantasy needed DD. Fucking WoW, it's DPS.
Oh yeah. That's so funny. It's so funny too. What was it? During Shadowbringers of 14, I was doing the relic thing because Bajra was cool because they gave you these like abilities called lost actions, which was basically like they had like stone skin and like basically shit they cut.
All the stuff they took out from
yeah, literally.
What expansion was that? It was Stormbringer or Storm what?
Yeah, like
Stormblood.
Eureka and stuff. They had some of that.
No, they took out like Stone Skin and all that, like when they revamped all the classes in Stormblood.
Yeah, they got rid of the elemental abilities and shit like that. They just put it all into Blue Mage. Um,
And then got rid of tank stance.
yeah.
Or, well, tank stance is still there. You just don't do stance swapping anymore. Which, I mean, I hated that concept anyways, personally.
Yeah.
Just made
I don't.
made it convoluted fucking mechanic. Even, oh, you want to do max DPS, you have to do max DPS. So when you're not doing, when you want to do these 3 abilities, you gotta swap out of tank stance, do these 3 abilities, and then swap back into tank stance. And then when your off tank provokes the mob, make sure you turn your tank stance off, otherwise you'll rip it right back. And it was like,
Yeah, the thing about 14 that bugs me is that it's such a basic goddamn game that like when they have shit like that, that it's like you feel that they're needlessly adding something to just add It's almost like Savage fights in Final Fantasy 14. People are like, "Oh, well, like it has hardcore content or like even mid-core content, right?" It's like, well, like if you want a more of a challenge, just go do a Savage fight. It's like, dog, the entire game is so fucking easy. They're just making a fight hard just to make it hard. That's not fun. Like, there's no incentivization to do that. But the thing is, going back to your example, it fucked me up because in Bozja, people were typing LFG. And I was like, what the fuck is LFG?
looking for group.
And I was like, because of Final Fantasy 11, I was typing LFP. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why are people saying LFG? Like, I thought it was like a completely different term. I was like, what is this? And someone was like, looking for group. I was like, oh, fuck. So funny. It actually took me a minute. All right.
Main reason people would ever come back, there's just something unique about Final Fantasy 11.
Actually, speaking of which, you could also always tell a fucking WoW player who never played 14 because one thing they would always say, and maybe he's going to reference that there based on what he just said, but the communities were so different. Like in WoW, people were way more aggressive on shit because of that PvP element, and like you could just get sniped like anywhere. But like in 14, it was like the complete opposite. It was like the game was so fucking hard that like you had to help each other. That like it kind of made people just nicer in general. And so when someone came over from WoW, they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people? You're too nice."
I don't know about that. Quetzalcoatl was pretty elitist server. Like if you didn't have this gear once you hit 75, people would talk shit.
Yeah, but I mean like in general, like I mean, we're talking 2000 fucking 4, 5, 6, 7, anything pre 2010 internet, right? It was a different place. So like, obviously, what I'm saying, you got to take it with a slight grain of salt.
In its community.
It's way nicer than WoW, though, because even when I was on Battle.net and Diablo, people didn't give a
I'm
fuck
not going to
for
beat
hard.
around the bush. Final Fantasy XI at launch was brutally hard. You started off with no money, and the shops charged these crazy prices you would never be able to afford. You could go outside and try to earn some money and get some experience points, but somewhere around level 10, you would start to realize that your experience gains were significantly diminished, and you weren't really strong enough to fight anything harder on your own. This was all by design. By level 10, they wanted everyone to be forming a group and start playing with one another. From a North American
It's still, like, one of
perspective,
my
in
favorite
the
armors
early
in,
days,
like,
most
any
of the
game.
crafters and high-level players were all Japanese, considering they did have a pretty big head start. So, North American players kind of felt a bit like outsiders, clinging to each other for support, joining message boards to try to start building our own little community. That's not to say Square Enix didn't try to bring those two populations together. They did a great job of making an easy-ish to use auto-translation feature that actually worked. I'm actually glad that all the servers were combined and not region locked, but man, things were tough some days.
That's another thing that like 11 had, dude, way before anyone else had shit like that. Like that was way before the days of Google Translate, and like you could actually have conversations with that translate feature. That shit was so sick.
Pretend you're working second shift and you get home late, but you really want to go get a few levels in, but the only English speaking parties are already full. And the ones that you're starting to look for members, they're all Japanese and actually say in their
Oh, I know what he's
friggin'
gonna
posts, Japanese players only.
Yeah, I
well,
remember
guess
that
what,
bullshit.
Buckaroo?
JP
Hope you got
only.
something else to do because you ain't
That's fine. You know what the funny thing about that is that when it was like daytime in the U.S., we'd always say English only, and they get just as fucking triggered.
partying tonight. Granted, there were always exceptions, but for the most part, that's just how it was for several years. But little did we know, this was all part of the Final Fantasy special sauce. You wanted to be
I will say that shit was pretty. I actually kind of like that though. Back in the day when you'd see like different languages in the chat, right? And especially you could get like a mixture of like Spanish, fucking Japanese, fucking English, and I don't remember if there was Europe in there at the time. I feel like it was, but I don't.
So
remember.
when you edit your CCOM or whatever, you can edit to where it says your primary language: Japanese, English, French, or German.
I was gonna say French. That was like what I was kind of remembering. I don't remember the German part, but I feel like I remember seeing French. But yeah, no, there
I
you
don't
go.
know. I only ever saw English or Japanese were the only two languages.
Um,
Once in a while, you would get into a group where most of them spoke English, but they were like Canadians or something, so a lot of them were speaking French.
I saw
But
some
you can
Spanish
still.
users, but a lot of Spanish users I think kind of knew English too. So, but every now and then you'd see Spanish come through.
There was a what was it? Were they French or Spanish? I don't remember. There was a link shell. Every single member was a dragoon.
What the fuck?
Yeah, on Quetzalcoatl. I don't remember what.
They're
I think
just
they were
Spanish
French. Yeah.
dragoons. Oh man.
be on your best behavior and have the best equipment that you could get your grubby little
Yeah, you
mitts
had to be
on
on your best behavior.
because you
Like,
needed
actually
to
had
put
be
your
nice to
best
people.
face forward. If you somehow did manage to get
I like
yourself
how he
into a
shows
party,
like an $80
you wanted to
million
prove to everyone you
piece of
deserved that
equipment back
spot.
then. That
You
like,
wanted
no
to be a
one
good
had.
teammate and
Yeah.
build good rapport with people because
Unless you
good
bought
God,
gold
you
or
literally
gil.
could do almost nothing on your own. You couldn't get past level 10. You couldn't make
Yeah,
money.
that shit was so sketch back then, dude. Buying gold back then, you were like rolling the dice heavy, like you were because like I
Yeah,
remember hearing.
I'm looking at this, and he's like, "Oh, you're stuck at level 10." I think I was like level 23 before I got my first party.
That's so funny. 23, goddamn.
Yep, no, I was in King Renfier's too, farming bat fangs and selling that shit. And then
That's true.
my cousin was talking to me. He's like, "Oh, if you're farming, you need to go down here." So I went down to East Sarutaruba, leveled up thief, and was farming silk and honey,
Yeah, I think. I
and
think.
then selling Miss Silk Cape every time it dropped off a Spinny Sippy.
I think the highest I got because I remember it was before I got to Dunes. I remember I was like actually trying to like solo level in Kronstadt, and I think I got to like maybe 14, maybe 13. Um, and I was just like the XP was just so low, and I just remember like asking people. I was like, "Hey, is there like a better place to XP I just don't know about?" And they're like, "Yeah, go one zone over, idiot." I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, it's time to start partying up."
You would lose a whole lot of hard-earned experience points if you died. You couldn't really do missions beyond the first few. Heck, you could barely wipe your own butt without a helping hand from a friend. So you were going to do
Yeah, but even back in the day, Mission 2-3, you could actually duo that if you had like a warrior and a red mage. Like, and like you obviously had to have sleep and shit.
You needed a black mage to duo it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because black mage you needed elemental. Well, you could do it with red mage, but you would risk because elemental seal. Whereas if you had the black mage as the main, that was their primary. I don't remember. I just remember needing a black mage. I just went in and trioed it because I went in.
Maybe
I
I'm
was
thinking
on
of a trio.
my cousin was on paladin because we went and got him to level 30, and then went and unlocked paladin, and my buddy was Black Mage, and I think I was on Red Mage. So it was Red Mage, Black Mage, and a Paladin.
Hmm.
And we went trioed it, and pretty much your job is Elemental Seal, sleep the eyeball, and then we killed the dragon, and then killed the eye.
Oh, really? I think the way we did it back then was I think the way we did it, I feel like I duoed it with someone. I could have trioed it. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. But I feel like it was like me on Red Mage and with like a warrior. And I want to say what we did is I slept the dragon and I silenced I think I silenced the eye. And then we just killed the eye first. Or maybe I binded the dragon. I did something. I know I like incapacitated the dragon first. Yeah, no, I definitely did because I remember I had to kite the dragon at one point. I think I ended up using bind for that. Because if we got too close, I definitely died a few times trying to do that. But yeah, that was kind of a bitch and a half. That was the only bad thing. Like even when I started playing, people were like at higher levels at that point, and so it was really hard to get a full party to do 2-3. You had to have someone help you, and I think that's what I ended up doing.
Whatever you needed to do to make some damn friends, because you knew you were always going to need more help in the future. And that's when the game really started to shine. It was the Dark Souls of MMOs, before Dark Souls was even actually a thing. It was brutally challenging, but everyone felt like they were overcoming those same challenges.
Also, too, the Dark Souls of MMOs will always be EverQuest, because EverQuest was basically take all the penalties you got from World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XI, and that was fucking EverQuest.
Every old school player has a story about a party in a zone called the Dunes, or their first trip to the major city of Juno, the original endgame hub.
Look at this video capture. It actually looks good here too. I'm impressed. We're showing out here. That shield doesn't look half bad.
Because even those simple tasks, like getting a good party together that could fight the game's incredibly tough monsters, was actually a challenge. A simple trip to Juno carried with it so much risk of dying to things vastly beyond your level and sending you all the way back to your home point that it was actually nerve-wracking. But once you overcame those challenges, you felt a sense of pride. Once getting to Juno, you could unlock the ability to ride a chocobo, a giant chicken that has always been Final Fantasy's stand-in for horses. And this granted you extra movement speed, sure, but monsters wouldn't attack you when you were on the back. You were finally free to explore in safety for a little while, and that felt so rewarding. For every little bit of progress you would make, it would encourage you to do just a little bit more. But man, that progress was slow, and I mean dead slow. Near the end game, if you got enough experience points to go up one level by the end of the night, you had an amazing party. If you went up a couple of levels, or even like capped your experience points at level 75, you guys were legends. But just the opposite is true too. You could spend...
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I saw it.
I don't know why. I thought that was like just how fast it was so funny. But that's like another thing I want to say too. Dude, was it the same thing for you? Even like when you started? Because I remember like if you were level 75 back in the day, like that was a big fucking deal. Like, because that was genuinely hard to do. At least like when I first started playing. So like when you saw people like level 75, it was like, especially with like all that like hard to get gear and shit, it was like, that was one of those things where you just examine them just to like see their shit.
I don't know. When the first time I played was when, like I said, it released for Xbox 360. So it's like right when Treasures first came out. So pretty much everyone was, for the most part, 75 to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I got to like level, I think I was in my mid 40s, and then shit happened where, cousin quit playing, his roommate quit playing, and then I think I came back, I think Wings just released, and I think I came back for Wings, and then like a month or, like I think I want to say like maybe like 3-4 months later is when they introduced level sync for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I really got up high level. Like I really went from No, I wasn't high 40s. I think I said mid 30s. So probably paid for a month or two. And the only reason why we took forever leveling up is because, we would, all three of us were kind of, had a static. So it's like whenever all three of us can get on, I was leveling up. I was actually leveling up two characters. One was when they were on, I was leveling up with them. And the other one was, like I said, the one that before I even knew how to go to Valkyrie Moons and party or anything else, like I think I was like level 20 something before my cousin even started playing, well, came back to playing and stuff. So,
Yeah, I actually, I think out of all of the convenience things that they ever did, and I really think for like any MMO, I think probably one that I don't think I've ever heard anyone have any complaints over, it's level sync. Um,
well, I can complain. I have several complaints about
I,
level
I,
sync.
I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious what those are, because like to me, in my head, right? Like I feel like it solves the problem of.
It does solve the problem, but at the same time, with a game like 11, where
Mhm.
I mean, you even see this in 14 and stuff when you had some of those big streamers who would just straight up boost a character and then not know how to do any of the mechanics or any of the features in 14 that you would learn if you leveled up a character from 1 to 80, whatever the max level is.
Well, you're talking like abyssy shit where you get to like max level in like 2 days, right?
No,
I'm talking
even level sync, you would have fucking level 65 sitting in the fucking dunes looking for party and getting invites.
uh okay, I see what you're saying. I think okay, well I mean
They
let me
never left. They
rephrase.
never left. They never left the dunes until they had to, and then
Let me
they
rephrase
would
on
get
this then,
into.
because that makes I see what you're saying. That part makes sense. I feel like
But the actual like system itself, like yes, it solved the issue of because some servers there was not enough new people joining to
mhm.
sit there and have a healthy population of people leveling, and then at the same time there was also the bigger servers where there was kind of an overpopulation of low levels but not enough high levels. So for those like mid high level parties were non-existent, so you had to level sync down to get your experience.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's better than like the way 14 does it, where they like dailies and shit and like roulettes. I hate doing the fucking roulettes. It's like because then it's just like they just force you down like that streamlined hallway dungeon content, and it's like
Oh,
we're all bored.
You have World of Warcraft, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just like, I mean, the thing is too is it's like with level sync though, I feel like, um, I feel like it would be better, right? Like I feel like you could go half and half though. Like instead of getting like doing like a daily, right? You could level sync and maybe they give you like, it could give you like some experience points, I suppose. But what if it like gave you like a currency or something?
The way 14 is designed, though, you get your majority of your XP from quest, and not even just questing the story quest.
Yeah, the MSQ. I mean, but you can only get like you can only get so much from that. But I mean, like in 11, right? I feel like maybe like a way to fix that would be like, all right, just give some experience points. Don't give a ton. Don't maybe make it a little bit more than it would be if it were just like soloing, right? But like give some kind of like currency for that, something that's worthwhile that you can trade in, like a mentor
I
coin
don't
or
know.
something.
I think I kind of think Masomi did it the best with the level sync. What he did is he restricted it to 10 levels.
Oh, that's not horrible though either.
So if you were level 25, or if the person you were going to sync to was level 25, you can only get someone up to level 35, and the sync system will work.
Well, here's my thought process though, right? Like, because I do think someone said this the other day, and I think it's actually like really accurate. I think if you want to play with your friends though, I think that putting barriers up for people to do that probably isn't the greatest. So like that's where I think level sync. Well, actually, here's a way to solve that, right? If you just wanted to play with your friends, right? Like if you wanted to help your friend level, I guess the way you could do that is you could say within 10 levels you get experience points. Anything past that you don't get experience points, but you can still level sync. I feel like that would be like a good compromise, right? Because then it's like, I mean, Final Fantasy 11, it's pretty common to like help people anyways. So if it's like, you know, if it was like your real life friend or something, right? And you were like, yo, like I'll help you go party, right? I'll come as like a healer or
At
something.
the same time, though, it was like everyone had a sub job they needed to level or something like that. So there wasn't really like if you're playing with the friends, like there was really no excuse why you didn't have something around their level,
Yeah.
unless you like no life, unless you had absolutely no life and had like Matt's cap back in 2008.
Who was it? There was the guy that got the first Mats cap ever was like 2006. And I remember that shit was like a rumor. Because I remember it was like people were talking on the server, people were talking about all over. Like you would literally hear people in like just regular chat in the cities talking about like, yo, did you hear about that? There's apparently some like ultra rare item. It was like some fucking, unironically, like some dot hack like shit. Where they're like, did you hear about like the secret item? And like nobody actually has a fucking clue whether or not it's real or if it's like a urban legend or something. It was actually pretty sick. And like I remember people would like, I don't know, like people during that time too, you would also see if you had like a piece of gear that no one saw, like the specific hat or something, everybody would always like examine people to see if they had the Mats cap. Because again, it was like if you were either high level or you had like a cool looking piece of gear, you would just get examined like crazy just because people like, I don't know, they just want to see like that item that seemed like it was so far away and so far off, you know?
Yeah, there was a couple jobs I would never level. So even back then, like if it was still level 75, like I probably wouldn't. Well, I still don't have a Mats cap, but I would have never got one back then.
Dude, back then that shit was a fucking chore. Let me tell you.
Well, before Abyssia came out, I had 5 jobs at level 75, and I think Summoner was level 50.
Summoner was tough back in the day because paying for all the elements or all the elementals was like really expensive, and then like you had 2 options. I forgot exactly how it went, but I want to say it was like level 20 or 25. You had to buy like 100 ethers or something like that, or ethers, and or you could just level Summoner with Carbuncle to like 75 and then solo all the avatars. It was actually
Well,
kind of brutal to be Summoner, but if you had it, like if you had all the avatars, you were like pretty OP and pretty like well sought after. I remember because I unlocked it.
I don't know. You enjoy the rest of your video, though. I do need to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm right behind you soon.
All right, well, I'm gonna head out.
Later, brother.
Later.
I'll talk to you later. I'll see you on. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, Mr. Gain. We're doing all right. It's not actually broken. I tore my distal bicep tendon. It's saying it's broken is way easier to type in a title than I tore my distal bicep tendon, right? We were just watching a Final Fantasy 11 video, and then probably after I'll pass out, but we're having a good time. How are you doing tonight?
But just the opposite is true too. You could spend 2 hours gathering a party together, half an hour getting to the location you were trying to get experience points at. Somebody dies, you have to wait for that to wear off. They come back, someone has to leave, you replace a person. Next thing you know, you all wipe, you die, someone de-levels, and next thing you know, you've been out there for like 8 hours and
I can relate to a little different thing. I had a broken shoulder.
made no
It's not funny, but I don't even know if you can see it. I used to do like powerlifting really hard, and I tore my pec off a long time ago. This injury I have now, I wasn't even lifting. I was moving. I mean, I was lifting something, but I wasn't like lifting weights. I wasn't lifting anything heavy. Unfortunately, this tendon in your bicep, it's like I'm 30 years old now, and the chances of tearing this skyrocket when you get to 30, and it's crazy too because I asked the surgeon and he was like, yeah, he's like, the most common reason I have or I see for people tearing your bicep tendon is just literally putting down like the gate of your truck, and it's like an ACL, and that like it just goes at the wrong angle with like just enough amount of weight, and that bitch fucking splits right open. It didn't hurt as bad tearing it, but dude, the recovery's been, I'm not gonna bullshit. The bitch fucking hurt.
Progress. Everyone has a story of losing so many experience points they actually lost the armor that they were wearing because it's tied to your
Oh
level.
my god, dude. I remember I learned a hard lesson the first time that happened to me. I was so triggered. I didn't have any money to buy new armor either, so I had to go back and farm like all these low level zones. Oh, I was so mad.
That's just how incredibly punishing Final Fantasy XI is. And you did not want to lose that gear
Thank you, brother.
because some of
Appreciate
it was amazing. I'm not kidding when I say, if you were a higher level character and had a cool piece of armor on, you would get checked out and examined constantly. You would receive messages.
This is what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you were on here when I was saying this, but like, especially like when the Mats Cap lore came out, like, dude, people would just like examine you like crazy if you were like, you know, back in like the 2005 4 days, 6 days, even seeing like a level 75 from Latvia. What? Hold on a second. Yeah, when you were like level 75, people would fucking like, you would just examine them because like, dude, that shit's so crazy. It's so hard. It was so hard to like level back then. Which it was like fun to level, but it was still hard to level. That like you seeing someone do that, it's like, damn, like you just like look at them like in awe, like. All right. I'm gonna be real with you. I knew like the general area. Oh, what the hell? No, Google Maps. Why are you doing this to me? What is going on? Why is it? It's like blocking out my maps. All right, hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Because I couldn't point out Latvia on a map. But I knew the general area it was in. Okay, so it's right under Estonia. I don't know why Google Maps is doing this. It's actually triggering me. Keeps going black. But what time is it for you? It's got to be way late for you right now. Me and a buddy who played Final Fantasy XI, were actually watching some different like Final Fantasy XI videos since I can't really play very well. Okay, Freak's back. He wants me to watch the clip in Discord. Let's see. I don't think this is Final Fantasy XI, but Latvia Ogre. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Get it? Reloading.
Oh, is this what you were doing in there while we were talking, watching the Final Fantasy XI video? Fucking people up?
God. Cuss the shit out of
Mr.
me.
Gain, welcome to the Discord. Okay. You said, actually, Mr. Gain, post your clip in the Discord, in the general chat, and I'll watch it. Yeah, that's totally fine. Look, I'm at the end of the night. If anything, I have a bunch of videos I want to watch about Final Fantasy 11. So I'm down to kind of wind down. It just sucks. Like, we were watching Final Fantasy 11 videos because I can't fucking play the game properly right now with only one hand. That's fine. Mr. Gain, post it in the general chat in Discord. What the fuck? Why is that's so weird. Am I like am I like dumb or something? Why am I getting like black screens for all this? I actually don't know why. Yeah, I'm gonna try to reload it, but I was getting it on Google Maps too. It's like a really weird thing. Is this like a video tied to Google Maps or something? That's weird. What the hell? Hold on a second. Let me change web browsers right quick. Let me just see if this isn't like a... Oh, I guess it's my web browser. It's Firefox. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's cold as fuck. I live in Florida, so I'd be freezing my fucking ass off. It looks really cool though. I'm guessing this was done like around Christmas time. Oh, that's sick. You know, I will say, we don't have... There's something about like this snowy aesthetic, right? Especially when you get like the lights and stuff like that. And like the buildings, you get like this old towny vibe. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But there's just like, you really don't get a ton of that in Florida. It's really cool looking. Is your town like where you live, is it like a small town or is it like a larger city, or? I mean, people are out like walking a ton too. Is it like, do you need a car to get everywhere? I'd assume if you needed a car to get everywhere, it'd probably be a pain in the ass if it's just a shit ton of snow. A lot of horror games have white and yellow lights. I wouldn't know why. I feel like white or yellow light is like. I don't know. I don't associate that with like horror for some reason. Also, too, is there a reason they have like these like purple lights? Or is that just like? Is that just like a? Is that like a? Is there like a practical reason for that, or is that just like an aesthetic of this town? The blue lights. That's pretty cool, though. That's so weird. It doesn't work on. I wonder if I have to update my Firefox. They plan to do a festival. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Is it like a big town or is it a small town? Where they serve free meals and drinks, and of course, sounds pretty sick actually. I always thought like it's another thing in Florida. Florida people are like pretty. They stick to themselves a lot. I mean, there are communities, but we don't have like a super big like community based place. All right. Actually, you know what? We have city split through it. Gotcha. Mr. Gain. Come hang out again. It is like 3:17 in the morning here. So no wonder I'm already like fucking exhausted. I have to do shit tomorrow. So I'm actually gonna head out. And if you like Final Fantasy XI, I do a bunch of Final Fantasy XI stuff typically. So come hang out. You can hop in voice chat and stuff. We like review these videos and talk about them, and it's fun. It's good stuff. I'm actually gonna save that last Final Fantasy XI video for later. So